Okay, I think we're on. Okay. Hi, my name is Lisa Jackson, and this is Family 445, Winter 2015 semester. And this is my first learning teaching interaction video. And so I'm kind of going in blind. I'm not really sure if what I'm going to do is what we're looking for. So I'm going to go with it and hope that this works. I created an outline for the readings of the last 3 weeks, the intro, lesson 1, and lesson 2. And I'm going to touch on some of those things that I said in my outline that really impacted me. As I thought about the capacity, I could see myself getting involved in strengthening marriages and families, because a family life education or a family life educator is someone who, well, I'll give you the definition that's in the textbook. Any educational activity occurring outside a traditional school classroom setting, usually involving adults, that is designed to strengthen relationships in the home and foster positive individual, couple, and family development. And so going back to that, how could I use this in what my plans are? And I thought about what my plans are after graduation. And actually what I'd like to do is to become a certified child life specialist, which is different than a family life educator. But there are definitely similarities as I've been going through the readings, as going through the text and going through this, that there are definitely some things that I can pull from that. My role as a CLS would be to help children and their families through the stress of hospitalization due to illness, accident, things like that. And the whole idea of working with people who are under a great deal of stress appeals to me for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Stress can definitely put a strain on relationships, and I see my role as a CLS as a source of comfort, not in a therapeutic sense, but in offering information and education and knowledge. And we know that knowledge is powerful. And I think that my role of offering knowledge can be very helpful to families under this kind of stress. And I think I have the kind of personality that can help people who are in a stressful situation like that, because it's not a controlled environment and you can't predict what's happening in a hospital situation or what's going to happen next. I think primarily my role, my approach would be as a facilitator. I would not have a specific agenda, but I would have the information needed to help as needed. And so that was something that really that was interesting. Going down to one of the questions that was asked was, when teaching family life education, what are some potential problems if an educator slides into providing therapeutic remediation? And my answer to that is, providing therapy is an entirely different field, and there's a great deal of responsibility that comes from it. Of course, it is with anything, there's a great deal of responsibility, but family life educators don't always have the entire story of their clients. And providing therapy could actually be a lot more damaging. And so we need to really be careful of that. And so I appreciate the emphasis there. As we work on our workshops, this is not therapy. We need to stay away from that. And another question another thing that I found fascinating is the approaches in chapter 1. The approaches, there's expert, facilitator, critical inquirer, collaborator, interventionist, eclectic. And I thought that was very fascinating, and that it was broken down to that. And it really, I think, helps us kind of see in whatever field we're going through, where we're going to fit in any of these. So anyways, thought that was interesting. As I mentioned earlier, I plan to become a certified child life specialist. And as a CLS, my beliefs will provide guidance as I work with people who are under a great deal of stress and grief. As I was going through these beliefs, I see that I felt that empathy is probably one of the most important values I could hold in this capacity, as well as momentum, loss, goodness, chaos, readiness for change, evil, legacy. There's so many that I could actually, probably all of them, I would pull from. But I immediately felt that empathy is an important one in that situation. I can see the value in each that was discussed in the appendix, and I can see how each of these can help me tremendously as I work with a variety of people in a variety of situations. Hold on, I'm recording, guys. I'm recording. Sorry. There's a couple of my kids there. And I'm going to keep going because I have done this a couple times and I need to just keep going. So just a sec. Okay. I love the idea of creating an intimate and warm environment for my workshop, an environment in which the participants feel comfortable and they feel safe. And so as I thought about the opening paragraph of chapter 16, as a described field of dreams, I thought about how I would feel if someone was creating a workshop and what it would take for me to want to attend. I'm so busy in my life lately that I have found myself turning down attending things like Relief Society activities and lunch with friends. I have found myself doing that. And so I thought about what it would take to have someone like me want to attend. And this is kind of the direction I'm taking as I think about marketing my workshop. Another question is, as you have probably noticed, the emphasis on assessing and understanding the specific needs of the target audience is a theme that comes up over and over. Why is this important in marketing? And I completely get why this is emphasized over and over again. In order for me to reach the audience, I need to make sure what I have fits their needs. Life is busy and people are coming and going. I'm coming and going. We're all coming and going. And I think we're seeing that people are making less time for things that are very beneficial. My target audience is parents of young children who are feeling the effects of stress. And I think it's funny because that's probably because I can relate myself, although I don't have young children anymore. But I actually have to chuckle, though, as I wonder what parent of young children doesn't feel the effects of stress. I think everyone does. But because this is my audience, I also need to recognize their needs and the difficulty it can be for them to even make time for a workshop like mine. So it has to be worth their time to be taken away from their families. So finally, just one more thing I will share. My kids are tiptoeing in here trying to be quiet. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, I wish you could see what my son's doing. Okay. What are my beliefs about the purpose or the role of the family? I believe that the purpose or role of the family is that it is something greater than a social group. Oh, the role of a mom and dad, of mother and father committed through marriage, working together and raising children. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going because I have to finish this. Is teaching them to be positive contributors to society is vital to society as a whole. And so unfortunately, too many people don't believe in the importance of family, and they believe that children are just a consequence of their indiscretions. And this is sad. And society is at risk. And we see that this is happening, what is happening to society because of this. The last thing is an important part of family life education. What is one of the best ways to motivate? And I think enthusiasm and energy is absolutely extremely important. But on top of that, and in addition to that, is to believing what you're doing. And I don't think any amount of energy or enthusiasm can take the place of believing in your cause. And so I think this is probably the most important thing. Whatever I'm doing, I need to make sure that I believe it. So I'm going to close off. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I look forward to this class.